Yogis, welcome to today's tutorial. We're going to do a little opening sequence that focuses on the hips. So a lot of the time when we come into our vinyasa or our asana, our yoga shapes, we will run through our sun salutations and then move into hip opening through our sun salutation B. So stepping either into crescent lunge or into warrior one. So this time we're going to approach it from a slightly different angle. We're going to come into our hip opening right from the very beginning, from our connection to breath. So come to supine, which is lying on your back. And from here, you can take a Baddha Konasana. So Supta Baddha Konasana means butterfly pose, lying down. So the soles of my feet are together and the knees are just dropping down to the side. So if this pose is already proving to be a little bit of a challenge for you, if you've got props, blocks, towels or books, you can just pop those underneath the thigh, the outside of the leg here, which is actually the abductor muscle, and that will give you a little bit of respite there and perhaps allow you to stay in the shape for a little longer. Otherwise, we're just going to draw the belly into the spine, feel that gentle opening into the hips. Allow the shoulders to draw down the back, creating that space between the shoulder blades as they pull away from the ears. Chin tucks into the throat and you can feel that gentle opening through the cervical spine. Just being with the breath here, breathing in and out. You might already start to feel this on the inside of the thighs, on the adductors. You might feel it in the hips. You might be feeling this a little bit in the lower back. If this posture or this shape is particularly difficult for you, you can just lie in Shavasana with the legs straight out front. But this is a really nice way to start off your practice, and just taking a few rounds of breath and slowing down that breath, elongating the inhale and the exhale. From here, I'm going to invite you to bring your heels up to your butt. And that may feel you lengthen through the back body, and you can feel that whole back body down here. Take the arms out to about shoulder height, and you're just going to gently drop the knees from one side to the other. So making this like windscreen wiper action here. It's never a day goes by in Bali where we don't have someone out with a plane saw or a circular saw or someone sawing something. We're just going to do 4 more of these. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that back to center. Draw the right knee in towards the chest, and you can keep that left foot bent and just pull that knee down towards the armpit, and keep seeing if you can draw that right hip away. So you're really feeling the elongation of the back body on the earth there. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift the knee, and as you exhale, pull that knee into the outside of the ribs. And again, this time the left hip is drawing down and away, creating length in the back body there. And bringing that foot back to the ground. Planting the hands this time down by the side of the feet. Start to press the feet into the earth, and as you inhale, lift the hips from the earth. So you can use the hands for a little bit of support here. Lengthen through the neck so you can feel the whole cervical spine. You're going to engage the glutes a little bit and lift a little bit higher here. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. And release that back down towards the earth. Take the hands back up to shoulder height. And we're just going to take a few more rounds of this dynamic side to side windscreen wiper style movement. So you might already start to feel this stretching down the sides of the body and into the hips. So we've got about 4 more of these to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to the center. Plant both feet, maybe this time walking the heels a little closer towards the butt. Planting both feet onto the earth, hands come down to meet the feet. Take an inhale breath, press the heels into the earth and lift the hips. Start to walk the shoulders underneath. So a little retraction of the shoulders there, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Press the feet into the earth and lift the hips. From here, ground that left foot into the earth and start to lift the right. And hold here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale and release. Swap it over other side. Left leg goes high. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release. Hold here. Maybe lift the hips a little higher as you press both heels into the earth. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release the hands all the way down to the earth with that butt. Allow the knees to come together. Feel a little respite for the spine there. And draw the knees in towards the chest. Wrap the arms around the legs. Pull the knees in here. Maybe even drawing the forehead up towards the knees, creating that little ball. Exhale and release the body back down to the earth. This time you're going to come into happy baby. Take the inside of the feet and draw the knees towards the earth, opening up the legs. In our happy baby, the goal is to get the entire back body flat to the earth. So what you want to do is feel that cervical spine. And sometimes our ponytails get in the way, so watch that. Feel that cervical spine or the neck coming down to the earth. So you might have to really focus on that tuck of the chin in towards the chest and then or into the throat. And you're going to feel that whole back body coming down to the earth. So from here, we actually want to feel the tailbone pulling down towards the earth, but still maintaining that flat back or the sensation of the belly drawing the spine down or the belly pushing the spine down towards the earth. And then with the feet, we're gently pulling them towards the armpits. And as you move through this cycle, it's almost like the breath. As you inhale, you feel a little bit of length coming on. As you exhale, you can feel the depth of the opening. So the inhale might make you feel lengthening through the back body, and the exhale allows you to draw the tailbone towards the end of the mat and the knees a little closer towards the armpits. From here, if you're feeling groovy, a gentle extension of the right leg, keeping the left leg where it is, drawing the toes towards the earth, and you can gaze over to the right side and see where that foot is at. Remember, we're still warming up, so if you're not feeling that super flexible, just go to wherever is right for you today. Exhale and release. Inhale to lengthen that leg away, taking the left foot towards the floor. And this is where you notice that one leg's feeling a little bit more groovy than the other. Inhale, bring it back to center. Find that happy baby. Maybe take both feet out to the side, and maybe it doesn't go as far towards the earth this time. Still have that sensation of drawing the cervical spine, the neck down to the earth, and the tail bone to the end of the mat. Inhale, come back to center, and release the feet back down to the earth. Hands come about shoulder height apart, and we're going to drop the knees again, finding that beautiful side to side action here. 4 to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back into center, bring the knees into the chest. A little rock and roll so you can feel your whole spine on the back, or whole spine on the mat. Maybe the feet come over the head. And eventually you're going to come all the way up to seated and come in to your Sukhasana. So we've done a little bit of hip opening there. From here, I really want you to feel the grounded connection of the hip bones or the sit bones down into the earth. Tuck the chin into the throat slightly and lengthen through the back body. Slide the shoulders down the back away from the ears so you can feel that lengthening of the cervical spine. Take the hands out in front of you and start to walk the hands forward. From here, only go as far as you can without feeling the hips lift off the floor. And what I mean by that is you can come forward, but there will be a point, and you can see that point where my hips want to lift up off the earth. So try not to get to that point, or try and resist that point, more to the point. Place the hands down on the earth, and you can use them to apply a little resistance to press the hips back, and then maybe start to walk the hands forward. And allow the head to drop down. And you can still feel the pressure into the earth there, sending the hips back, allowing the head to drop down to the earth. You can take 3 or 4 breaths here, and each breath, the inhale allowing you to fill the body with fresh oxygen, and the exhale allowing you to surrender into the space that that oxygenation creates for you. 2 more breaths here, breathing all the way into the back body. Gently gazing towards the hands. We're going to walk the hands over to the left side. Maybe bringing the chest over the top of that left knee, allowing the head to hang down. Walking the hands back through center and taking them all the way over to the other side. This is where you notice one side's tighter than the other still. Inhale and coming back through center. From here, take both hands behind the back with the fingers pointing towards the butt cheeks. From here, I want you to start to lift the hips and press the knees towards the earth. And you can walk the hands a little closer if you like. Open up through the hips and drop the head back. And you're going to take 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Bring that back down to earth. Bring the hands in front of the knees and press up, coming in to your downward facing dog. A little bit of movement here in your downward facing dog. Feeling the hands press into the earth, the hips lift high, the heels, if they can, working towards the mat. Take an inhale breath, come up onto the toes, really press into the toes. Find a little bend in the knees and allow the belly or the chest to come down towards the thighs. Just shake the head yes and no, find a little respite there for the neck. Continue to press the hands into the earth and lift the hips, lengthening through the spine. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, send both heels down towards the mat. Inhale, gaze forward and come forward into your plank pose. Exhale and release all the way down to the mat. Uncurl the toes, kiss the mat. As you inhale, lift up a little Bhujangasana Cobra pose. Exhale and release. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. 2 to go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. This time we're going to press back into child's pose. So inhale up through tabletop. Come to the shins. Step the knees out to the side of the mat. Hips drop back to the heels. And you can send the heart towards the earth here. 3 breaths. So we're a little bit more dynamic in our movement through this opening sequence. Pressing the hands into the earth, sending the hips back to the heels. Inhale, come back through tabletop and press up to downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Shake the head. With your next inhale, lift up onto the toes. All the way up onto the tippy toes, bending into the knees, belly or chest down towards the thighs. Take an inhale breath, lift the hips a little higher. As you exhale, heels come down to the mat. Gentle gaze forward on your inhale, shifting forward into plank. You can either come down to the knees or you can come down to chaturanga. And we're going to move into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. And this time we're going to get my anklet out of the way. Step the right foot over and gaze over the right shoulder. Come back into that downward facing dog. Left foot over The left shoulder, downward facing dog, is our next move. Breathing here, and I'll make a little anklet adjustment. 2 or 3 rounds of breath. Inhale up onto the toes, bend into the knees, belly to thigh. Press the hands as you inhale the breath. Exhale, heels come down to meet the mat. Inhale, gentle gaze forward, come back into your plank pose. Pressing all the way down through your chaturanga, come down to the mat. Take the arms out wide. Inhale and lift to this wide arm bhujangasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale and release. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale and release. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press all the way back up into downward facing dog. We're going to move through our vinyasa, come into our Urdhva Mukha. So inhale to plank. You can either drop the knees or come through chaturanga. Inhale up to Urdhva Mukha. Take that right foot over, and this time drop that hip down towards the earth. And if you're feeling good, you might even lift up into this wild thing variation. Exhale, step back into your plank pose. Take a vinyasa, drop the knees or full chaturanga. Back to Urdhva Mukha. Taking that left foot over the top. Feeling that stretch through the front of the right hip. Maybe even taking a little variation of wild thing here. Exhale, coming back down through your vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale back, Ardha Mukha. Inhale the right leg. And step forward, bringing the knee through the chest to our crescent lunge. Inhale and lifting all the way up. Grab hold of your left hand. Gentle stretch for the psoas. See if you can come a little lower into your lunge. Belly to spine with the floating ribs. Dial that back heel down. Release the hands behind the back. So you're in this variation, warrior two. Inhale and lift the heart space. As you exhale, send the chest down towards the earth for this variation of humble warrior. So slightly different to our warrior one variation. Inhale, coming all the way up. Windmill the arms around, straighten through the legs. Come back into this warrior two on the other side. Hands grip behind the back. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, whoop. Always a bit of excitement there. Surrender down towards the earth. Holding here for 2 or 3 breaths. Try and draw up the hips down. Gaze towards the earth. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Coming all the way up. Windmill the arms around. Take the hands back down to the earth. The crescent lunge. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring it through, knee to the chest. And step it through for your crescent lunge. Drop a little deeper here. Inhale, find that strength. As you lift up, belly to spine, hips drawing down. Meeting the floating ribs, grab hold of that left wrist, right wrist with the left hand. Stretching up and over. Feeling that lengthening through the psoas. 2 more breaths here. Squaring the hips. Exhale. Release the hands down to the mat. Step back. Either straight into downward facing dog, or if you're feeling super juicy and warm already, take another vinyasa. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale back, Ardha Mukha. Pressing here. Drop the knees down to the earth. Take the knees as wide as the mat. Hips back to the heels. Extend the arms forward and bring the chest down to the earth. Breathe and B. So you can stay here in your child's pose, or you can continue with additional vinyasa, so maybe moving through some other sequences in our series of add-ons. But this was just a different opening sequence today, something for you to play with. And if you want to feel a little bit of that opening up through the back, you can bring the knees together in this different variation of child's pose, sink back into the hips, and come all the way down to the earth. Feel the shoulders draw away from each other, so they're like melting down into the earth. And you can stay there for a few rounds of breath until you're ready to move on to your next couple of shapes. So just that very short but sweet opening sequence for the hips there. I genuinely hope that you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you on our next tutorial. Namaste.